Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everything is well now that the year is ending. This video is about the hardware project that I'm about to start. It's an old idea that I had in mind for a while. It all started with another channel that I'm subscribed. It's a very good radio and electronics channel in general. And it's all around the radio that somebody built as a project for teaching for students. It's a very simple radio with a few transistors, very unique. I wouldn't say unique, maybe not unique architecture, but very simple architecture, something that anyone can build. And some people, they build it in a modular way, some others, they build it in one PCB. It has a few transistors and filters and coils that you need to basically you need to build yourself. But the whole idea is it's a simple radio. It's a shortwave radio. It's a very simple implementation of a radio. It has a few things which are unique. I'm going to put a link in the description with the video that I'm talking about, so you can watch it. It's actually quite interesting if you like to build stuff. But my implementation is going to be different. So I'm taking this very simple radio and I'm going to make it in a very complicated way. So what do I mean by that? So it's going to have an analog front end and a digital back end, let's call it. So the whole idea is the front end is going to be a separate PCB, and I'm going to experiment there. Probably that's the most challenging part for me because I'm mainly a digital guy. So I kind of break down into small building blocks that I need, and I made a post on my blog that you can actually see. I'm going to link it down in the description of the video with the plan. So where I'm detailing a little bit the plan. So I'm going to have a antenna connector, obviously a bandpass filter to select the band of interest, followed by a mixer, very simple diode mixer. So far it's the same like the radio that you see in the video that I mentioned at the beginning. Now the following part, the differences are, in the original radio they have a variable frequency oscillator to generate the local frequency for the local oscillator, and then it's a diode mixer. So I'm going to keep the diode mixer for the time being, which is a passive mixer. But I'm going to create the LO frequency or the local oscillator frequency from the digital domain. So this is going to be like an analog board coupled with the digital board, and the digital board is going to have an FPGA. Now I don't need to design the digital part of the digital board because I already designed it with the Spartan 7. I'm not sure if you are new to this channel, you might go and check those videos. I made this board actually to make a few retro computers, but now I realize that actually you can make much more out of that. So on the digital side, I'm going to generate the LO with the DDS, with the direct digital synthesizer. And the analog board is going to have an ADC, an analog to digital converter, a very simple one. So I'm trying to keep the analog part inexpensive and kind of easy to build. I know that soldering tiny little SMD parts is not for everyone, but I'm going to design those boards in such a way that I can give them populated, or people they can just go ahead and solder them. So I'll try to keep it simple, and probably there are going to be a few iterations. There's going to be mistakes along the way, and I'm going to look like a fool, but that's the way it is. It's part of life. So it's more on the blog where I'm describing what I want. I already started from the digital end by hooking a small audio amplifier. So I kind of started from the speaker towards the antenna. And I can probably test a lot in the digital domain without having the front end, because I can very easily generate in the digital domain a modulated signal, right? So I actually have a few videos if you want to watch. I'm going to link them as well. I can make it like an FM modulator or an AM modulator very easy in the digital domain, and I can create the demodulation part. Now, Why I say simple radio complicated? The front end should be simple, and I'll try to keep it simple. Now on the digital side, it's going to be more complicated and it's going to evolve. And what do I mean by that? I am planning to actually have a spectrum analyzer on the digital side, so you can actually see on the HDMI monitor or VGA monitor the spectrum of your signal, so you can jump back and forth on the bands when you see a signal of interest. So it's going to have a modern part, but in the same time it's going to have the simplicity on the front end. Now I'm not sure how good it's going to be. In order to make sure that there is some decent selectivity in this radio, I'm going to compare it with the ham radio equipment as I go along. And if I feel that I deviate or it becomes too, let's say, less performant, I'll try to come back and put it back on track. Because on the digital side there is so much you can do, but on the analog, if the analog front end is not good enough, then the digital domain cannot fix that. So I think it all comes down to a good antenna, good filtering, or a good selector, pre-selector, amplification, and making sure that you get out, you get a good dynamic range out of your ADC. Now I already made some choices about the ADC. It's a very simple, I wouldn't say inexpensive because it's not that cheap either, but it's a simple ADC. It's not even designed for radios, so I hope it works like I want. And then there's an amplifier, there's a diode mixer that I'm going to drive from the FPGA with the with a digital LO, local oscillator. So yeah, that's the plan. So I'm, as an interface to communicate, or not to communicate, to drive the board to change frequencies and things like that. Probably I'm going to use a gamepad, something like this, because I already have VHDL code or Verilog, I don't remember. So I probably am going to use a lot. So if you watch some of my old videos, you will see that I already kind of built a spectrum analyzer inside the FPGA. I built a few modulators, actually built the transmitters on the FPGA. So I kind of have that part, but this is going to be a receiver. So I never built a good receiver. This is something that I also had in the back of my mind, or what's left of it. So yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy the project. This is just the first episode, and I shall see you in the next one.